Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here we have an article from the Market Beat, which I will leave in the description down below so you guys could check it out. So we are very close to Verizon reporting their Q1's earnings. And of course, we are going to get predictions and previews from analysts around the industry. So I'll leave this article in the description so you guys could check it out. Equities analysts issue forecast for Verizon's communication Q1 2023 earnings. Now, what I wanted to chime in on, so you guys have followed the videos, you've heard me say it in the videos. Verizon's Q1 is going to be a bust. They are going to take a loss. They will likely have to guide down on some of the finances and on some of the numbers for the rest of the year because of how bad Q1 is going to be for them. And that's looking at several numbers that I am able to get access to and see, such as the national market share. I can see how big the MVNOs are growing. Like I said, some of these MVNOs, and they are all listed as one category. It's not an individual cable company. It just shows MVNO. They're growing as much as 6% in some cities. So that competition is fierce. It is very, very fierce. And right now, in the position that Verizon is in, they're taking a hit. It's almost as if, I don't want to say the whole partnership with the MVNO is backfiring on them, but it's, if you look at the type of growth that these cable companies are taking in, and if you look at, you know, they're getting a better deal on the cable MVNOs. They're still on arguably the best network in Verizon. Yes, it might be capped. It might not be the full access, but you know, as long as it works for that consumer, it seems to be fine. And Verizon is losing money on that customer. Yes, they're making revenue back from the MVNO, but that customer is no longer 100% directly paying Verizon. They're now paying, a third party to use that network. So it's just interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how Verizon combats this. Are they going to start charging the cable companies more? That's a possibility. But then the cable companies are going to just start building their own networks, and they're going to start, using Verizon's network less, which is going to force Verizon to have to lower the pricing that they charge these cable companies. So then what happens next, right? If Verizon does increase pricing, the MVNOs have the opportunity to shop around. There's two other mobile network operators that they can strike deals with, one being T-Mobile, the other being AT&T, and then perhaps in the future, sometime in the way future, potentially Dish, right? Because Dish right now is still reliant on mobile network operators themselves. They are relying on AT&T and T-Mobile. So it's just very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how Verizon digs themselves out of the hole that they're in. Hans can only do so much. They've tried everything in the book. They've tried to be more aggressive on device promos. It didn't really lead to any big substantial growth. They've tried to put the promos towards the plans and discount those a little bit. That didn't really work. And you guys will see that once the Q1 numbers come out. So what's next, right? Will the board eventually initiate a leadership change? That is possible. So what does that leadership do, right? And in the leadership, I'm talking about the CEO. Eventually, Hans will have to leave the company. He will be forced out. And then the next CEO that steps in, probably will be external. And then what does he do, right? Or she, right? Do they just fire the entire staff below the executive leadership and start fresh? What do they do, right? That's going to be a very tough job, in my opinion, to take over. Could some of the changes that they have to do be quite simple? Yes. Like some people have been pointing out, permanent price drop, fixed customer service, do this perk instead of that perk, bring 4K. All of that is good. But again, there is a perception issue now that Verizon is going to be dealing with. Pricing, they are perceived to be the most expensive. That will have to be put out back into the market with marketing that, hey, we are cheaper now, come see us, They're trying it, right? But it's not working, right? The Verizon, the unlimited plan that they put out, the cheapest entry, that didn't work. The welcome plan didn't work, right? They had a cheap plan in the starter plan at $35. That didn't even work, right? The reps are pushing very hard to upsell, upsell, upsell. So it's just a tough time for Verizon to right now. You know, this Q1 is just going to backfire big time. Q2, we'll see what happens. They're changing their marketing a bit, the strategy a bit. Again, the network is flowing on all cylinders. They are pushing it as hard as they possibly can, as fast as they can. It's going to get better. That's coming. They are investing a lot of money in that. But you have to be able to sell what you're putting out into the market. And right now, looking at the growth, nobody's really buying into it. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow the social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.